Hi, I'm Lisa Hayden with Channel 6 Central Kentucky TV, Community Focus on Washington County. Today we have with us Miss Tara O'Hearn.
O'Hagan.
O'Hearn. Got O'Hearn on my... O'Hagan. They're both Irish names,
That's right.
though, for
They
sure.
Are. They are.
So O'Hagan, I'm sorry about
That's okay.
that. And O'Hagan, with who is the director of the Washington County Library.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and gosh, Tara, we sure love that new library.
We love it too.
Yeah.
This is we're about a year in. November 15th will be our official grand opening last year. So we're a little over a year of actually having the doors open, but officially right on a year, and it's been a great year.
Oh.
We're learning new things as we get new things happening to the building and new people coming in, and it's been fun.
Well,
Lots of
you
fun.
know, of course, Channel 6, we were there a year ago, you know, checking out the facility.
Yes.
So beautiful. And I tell people all the time, there's still people here in our county that haven't been to the library yet.
Yes. We get more actual people from other counties than we do probably from Springfield or Washington County.
I swear.
A lot more. Yeah.
Well, goodness, I mean, you know, you can just go down there and sit in those nice big comfy chairs.
With the fireplace going
with the
now.
fireplace and sit there and read a book.
We do. We have lots of newspaper readers and lots of book readers. We have study rooms that are always being used. They're constantly, one person leaves, or we have a group study room, so a group will leave and then it's replaced quickly by someone else.
Well, so yeah, you might want to just remind people, Tara, of those facilities, of what all is in there.
Okay. We are a 10,500 square foot building now, which now has a meeting room which holds seated 150 people, but can be divided into about 65 to 50 people on either side if you need 2 meetings at one time. We have another activity room just for children that can also be used. We only let groups that have children using that. So adults, the chairs are all small, the tables are all small. It's all, counters are smaller, everything's set for children to use rather than adults. So it gets a little comfortable for adults. So then, of course, all of our building is set up to be designated for transitioning from reading, because that's what our main purpose is literacy. So it transitions from young kids reading, you know, board books, babies. We have a bench seating that kind of corrals them over to one corner, but the parent is still able to see any other children, as well as use the computers if they need to while their child is crawling or walking or anything like that.
Well, gosh, that's nice,
It
isn't
is.
it?
It's kind of a nice view.
So the parent can sit there
with
at
the
the
baby
computer and then see over here what
see
they're
a toddler or a teen, or if they have another spouse or parent with them, they can see them.
what they're up to.
We have we went from 12 public computers now to 17 public computers, and we have 4 iPads that we use for cataloging and to check books out and things like that. We have an own teen area which has a PlayStation 4 we use every Tuesday evening. So that has a nice couch. Everybody likes the nice couch that can be separated. It has its own computer, so teens are kind of crowded also into one area. So some of our older patrons don't have to deal with the new technology and the loud, upbeat personalities that they have.
Yeah.
And then of course
they probably get a little mad,
They
especially
can.
when they're on that
gaming
thing.
Yes.
So they can come in there and play all that.
They can. We have our 2 youngest staff members, which are more into gaming than the rest of our older staff members, help them out with the games, not just loading them in the technology, but also playing, kind of get them into it. And kids that are wallflowering it on the side but want to play, they help bring those kids over and get them involved. So they introduce them to other teenagers or tweens, and that way we have a parent contract, so every parent has to sign that their child's able to use the PlayStation, so they can't just come in and randomly use it without their parent knowing that they're using it. We have fireplace, which has a nice reading area on both sides. It's a see-through fireplace. One looks outside across the St. Dominic's playground, so you can see St. Dominic kids playing when the weather's nice and everything like that. It also looks out into a grass field that used to be an alley, and we've filled that in so that now we can use it for community events. We did summer reading out there, water games. We did the Halloween party there, things like that.
That's nice having that.
It is.
That's certainly something you didn't have before.
We didn't.
So you've got that whole backyard there.
We do, and it's utilized a lot. For the Halloween, we did that with the Extension Office for the Happy Holiday series. And it was, really nice to be able to have the kids out and able to play games out in the grass and not have them truck it through the library, but be outside in the nice weather and still be able to adventure.
Yeah, I volunteered for that one, Tara, and was in charge. Rosalie Carrico and I in charge of the sack races.
Oh, you were outside then.
Yes, it was a beautiful day.
It was nice.
The kids really enjoyed that.
They did.
Kids who had never done sack races before. It was just
it's fun
really
to watch.
Funny. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
We have lots of kids that come in now, so that's always fun.
Yeah.
And then we have groups that we have individuals and groups. We have 3 study rooms. We have 2 what we call individual study rooms. 1 or 2 people can fit in. It has a desk and drawers and everything. We'll supply them with paper and pencils and staplers and things like that. Then we have a group study room that has a television so they can show PowerPoints if a group is working on something or they want to show an ad or they're having some kind of conference where 4 or 5, 6 people can sit comfortably and do that.
Now, who utilizes that, Tara? Is that mostly high school students that have
we have
group
a few
presentations?
Homeschoolers. We have some homeschooling groups. We have a couple families that have homeschooling children, and they almost utilize all 3 at times with the older kids in one room, younger kids in another room, and then middle-aged kids, I guess, in another room, so they can just kind of.
But I'm thinking that probably you have businesses even that could.
We do. It depends on how big of a group they're using. The Kentucky Health Affordable Care Act, KIPTA, they have used our group study room to meet with 2 or 3 people to help get people signed up for health care. They use that. They were using that every week, and now that since it's enrollment, they've asked to use a larger room so they can have people wait if they need to. We have attorneys that use it to do depositions. We have
a
lot of people are just 2 or 3 people maybe going to ECTC or going to Campbellsville, just going, or just doing some kind of online class or something that'll meet in there. And a lot of individuals will sit in there just to kind of keep, it's quiet, they're soundproof to an extent. I mean, you can hear somebody in there being very loud, but general conversation, you don't hear computers running videos. If somebody needs to watch a video and didn't bring headphones, they can do that in there. So it keeps kind of away and quiet.
Wow. Now, do they have to reserve those rooms?
We don't reserve them unless it's something like if it's a lawyer that needs one for a deposition or something, we'll put a reserve on it. But it's usually just first come, first serve. And
they'll hold how many in that room?
You can fit 8 in there, like a boardroom sort of. It's not quite as comfortable. Probably 6 is most comfortable, but we hold our board meetings in there quite often if it's empty, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
that's good.
And that's right next to our genealogy local history, which was a must-have when we talked about building the library. Miss Linda Lawson is our genealogy librarian, and she handles about 300 questions a week on the history and genealogy of Washington County, Springfield, which is amazing. So it's all that's one of my favorite rooms because to me it's library. It's wood and it's all custom-made woodwork, and but we have technology updated, so we used to have a big microfilm. Everybody remembers the big box microfilm.
Right.
And now it's on a computer and digitized, so you can.
So you have in there records.
We do.
Genealogy records like.
We have death, birth, baptismal. We have a lot of the church records. St. Rose, I believe, is the one. Or it's a Holy Rosary or St. Rose, I'm not sure which one, but let us copy like their whole book. I don't know what the exact term is, but that has all the everybody who's been married there, everybody's baptized there, funerals.
So Linda had to put all those in.
She photocopied them all, and then the library has them bound into nice record books, and she indexes them and everything.
Wow, that's nice. So can families that have like I'm sure that our Washington County book is in there with the history
the bicentennial
of the bicentennial one.
We have several copies of it.
Okay, yeah, because it's got a lot of families in there.
It does.
And then can people like bring? There used to be that collection down at St. Catherine. I don't know what's happened to that.
I'm not sure either. Most of ours are family histories that have been, when someone donates a collection to us, we have because we're a public library, we have to have a signed form that says that whatever, it's ours, we own it, whatever we wish to do with it, we can, which usually we end up copying. Sometimes we retype things just because you can't read. We keep the originals, but we'll retype it so you can read it and bind it Most of them are family histories that people have compiled themselves, and then they'll bring it to us, and we'll make a copy of it, and then we'll have it bound. So if they haven't already.
Wow,
so
that's pretty
we have
nice.
About over 100 family history books that have been bound into books.
Uh-huh.
So those are, and then she has family file records and things. We have lots of people from other counties, especially even other states, that come in, and we lock it all up because, of course, if you lose a family history, it's gone until you find somebody who has it again. But
right.
Anybody can ask for it, and we unlock it. And we have a photocopier in there, so they can photocopy. You can't photocopy whole books because that breaks copyright laws, but you can copyright, if you have a certain person that you're trying to trace down. We have a computer that does Ancestry.com and Heritage Quest, and there's some other databases that you can search for on there also, as well as the internet, and you can print from that. So, and Miss Linda's in there Monday through Thursdays from 10 to 3 to help everybody. And then she takes internet questions also that are emailed to us.
That is great.
So we are moving up, moving on.
Yeah. So, and of course, you have all your weekly. Well, and back to that, that meeting room is quite nice.
And it's busy.
So you do have to reserve it.
We do. And we have several groups that the Salvation Army uses it, the Gideons use it, the Democratic Women's Party uses it. And those are the three I can think of off the top of my head. The Affordable Care Act, people use that now. So we have groups that can use it, but our library programs always come first.
Right.
And that will be adult and teen programs that are held in there. The children's programs are all held by Miss Owen in the children's activity room. So we keep that pretty busy.
And in there's a screen too, if you have...
there are 2 screens that hook up to computers, so if you need to divide the room, you can actually do 2 programs where they all have technology. So you can hook your laptop up, hook a VCR up, play a movie if we wanted to do that. It has tables and chairs that move easily. They stack easy if you need them out of the way. Everything.
Yeah.
Whiteboards if you need to write. There's a kitchenette on one side if you want to serve, refreshments, or some people have the Gideon serve a dinner there, things like that.
Golly. That's just great.
And it has an entrance of its own so that if the Gideons usually go later than we're open, so we can lock the library up and they can still continue their meeting and have it, and they can still get in and out of the building without interfering with actual going into the library.
Yeah. Well, and then in addition to that, all these facilities, all the things within the facility that you have, the rooms, and you also have weekly events.
We do.
And numerous ones.
We do. We put a calendar out every month. We try to get it out a week or 2 of the previous month so you can kind of see what's going to happen. We have some monthly events. A couple of them now I know is we are part of the Happy Holidays series with the Extension Office is hosting, and they're using our facility, and we're also helping out with that. The next one is on Monday, and that's will be the Thanksgiving one, November 6th.
Okay.
And they're doing gratitude trees, and they're having some snacks, and they'll talk about the history of Thanksgiving. There'll be a story time for the little ones about the Thanksgiving, things like that. And the next one will be for Christmas, of course. We'll be in December. I think it's December 4th, the first Monday. And we are doing a gingerbread house contest. So if you have want to make a gingerbread house and bring that in, November 29th is the last day to get that in for judging. And they'll go all the way up to December 4th. People can vote on their favorite gingerbread house. We did a pumpkin one, and now we're doing a gingerbread one.
Oh, you did a pumpkin carving?
They did a pumpkin contest. They weren't all carved. Some were carved, some were painted, some were turned into Mickey Mouse, and some were very interesting, and some were really cute. So that's one of our monthly series we're doing. We're starting Drop Your Drawers, which is a service we're running.
Now, what is that now, Tara?
That is actually a statewide program that the libraries are all doing with, if you ever heard of Captain Underpants, and Dave Pilkey is the author of that. He has been willing to allow us to use his character to raise initiative to raise, awareness that FRYSCs in schools need items such as underwear. A lot of people don't think about underwear, T-shirts, socks, hats, gloves. Our big push is on underwear and T-shirts because that's one. A lot of kids may have an accident. Could be they just got dirty, and some of them just may not come to school with the health benefits that a lot of people have, so they may not come with clean underclothing. So our initiative is to collect packages of underwear for middle school and elementary school age children which can even be adult because some middle schoolers are big enough to wear adult size underclothes, and collect those in November and December, and then we donate those to the FRYSCs here in Washington County.
Friskies.
Friskies, as people know. People look at me when I say
Family
Family Resource Services Centers. Yeah, it's hard to remember all those.
Yeah.
But
they're in all our county schools.
They are.
And they, help the families and the children and families that are in need of services.
I know our programmers were creating a nice display, I guess, with the toilet seat and things like that to put our collections in. Last year, I believe we collected about 175 pairs to donate to them. So hopefully this year we'll double or triple that.
Oh, that's great. So people can just come into the library in
and
November and December.
New
package
of children's underwear or even adult for some of them. Girls or boys. T-shirts. I'm talking like package T-shirts, not character T-shirts.
Right.
And then they have to be new. We just put them in the packages, and then at the end we donate those to the Frisky that come out.
That's great. That's really good.
And we are waiving some fines for that, 50 cents for every package that you get, but we usually negotiate with that even. So that's a benefit. If you have a fine, you can bring a package of new underwear in, and we'll waive some fines for you also.
Great.
Yeah, that's one of our really cool programs. We started that last year, and this year we decided to take that on again.
Good. Yeah. And so then what else now do you have? Of course, your weekly things with the teens and the youth
we have
the children.
Story time. Of course, everyone knows libraries are for story time. We try to get them from 0, if you want to give them a number, birth to 3 is Tales for Tots, and that's every Monday morning at 10 and every Wednesday at 1. So right now they're going on. And then every Tuesday is Laugh and Learn. That's 5 or 6, and that's for more older 3 to 6-year-olds. Preschool age, going into school, starting to read, can sit a little longer, have a little more craft skills, hand-eye coordination or cutting. So that's from 3 to 6 on Tuesday. It's for 3 to 6-year-olds on Tuesdays, and you can come at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock.
Oh, great!
So and then we have teen programs randomly, but we do PlayStation every Tuesday from 4 to 6.
Okay.
And then, of course, we just found out, this week, I think Monday, we found out we are having a Holocaust survivor come and speak on November 14th, which is a Tuesday at 5:30. Fred Gross, he's from Louisville. He wrote a book, and he will be coming. He is a Holocaust survivor as a child, and he will be coming to talk about his book and his life, of course, with the atrocity that happened. So we want everyone to come out to that. We'd love to have a huge crowd.
November the 14th.
November 14th.
What day is that on?
It's a Tuesday.
And
at 5:30.
At 5:30.
And he's an amazing speaker. I've seen him in Louisville before, and his life is just amazing to hear. Of course, it's a tragedy, but it's a happy ending.
And many of those survivors are no longer among us.
Exactly. Reading in a textbook isn't quite the same as seeing the experience from someone who had to live through it.
Yeah.
So we've invited the school systems to bring kids and have their kids come and attend and hear it from a real life person. So those can be passed down as well as just read in a textbook or any other book.
It certainly makes it more real, doesn't it?
Right.
When you actually see the person who has survived such an atrocity.
It does, and he's amazing.
So, yeah.
And then we are pushing for the adoption option. That's what we're called. It's called the adoption option, about adopting, and kind of if people are interested in adoption, the starting of it, questions people have before, if they're just thinking about it, maybe if they're in the process and they still have a question or they aren't sure of something. So we've started a program called the Adoption Option, and it is on the 13th, which is a Monday at 5:30. And it's a question and answer. There'll be a little bit of a presentation, just introduction more than anything, the person that's in it. But if they have a question about adoption or you're interested in adopting.
Now that's a particular agency I know that's coming.
It is. I think we have it.
Because there are numerous adoption agencies
there are.
In addition to the state.
Night Lights of Kentucky.
Night Lights?
Night Lights Kentucky.
Okay.
Is the director. She's the director of that program, is going to come and answer questions, and I'm sure she'll have a slight presentation or anything for it. But that's our main goal, is just to get the news out about adoption, mostly local or area as well as national rather than international adoption. But she does answer questions on international adoption also.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because there's so many adoption agencies. It's
There
hard
are.
for people to even, know the differences. And I guess now, though, of course, you can Google it, about
That's true.
anything.
Come to the library and Google.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, there you go. Come to the library and Google. There you go.
But,
And
yeah.
then, and what else now is coming up? I was thinking there. Oh, well, of course, that's going to be this week.
That's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow is the meet and greet, the legislative meet and greet. Every year, the library tries to hold a legislative meet and greet. It's we try to do it before the election. This year's election isn't as powerful as like last year's when we had a presidential, and next year's when a lot of the congressmen and senators are up for election, as well as local officials. But we always think it's important for a community to have the advantage to come and meet, as you know, city council,
That's
a
right.
city
I'll
council
be
member,
I'll
or
be
you
there.
know, our magistrate,
Yeah.
because a lot of people don't know who their who
That's
represents
right.
their area of Washington County or Springfield even, or really who's even on there sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Who
we-
their state representative is, or their state senator. So those are really good things.
and people are a little intimidated, I think, sometimes to talk to people that are in legislation, especially when you start getting outside of the local area, when you start getting to state
Yeah.
and federal,
Yeah.
because they don't want to seem stupid. I hate to say that way, but they don't want to seem like uninformed, or
Yeah.
they feel like they're bothering them.
Yes.
And I think this is a way. It's a mingle more than a sit down at a table and talk to somebody. I mean, you can sit down at a
Yeah.
table and have have a little cup of coffee and a donut or a cookie and
Yeah.
but it's a good way to say, my street is floods, and like to a city councilor,
Yeah.
my street is in Springfield isn't right or whatever,
Yeah.
or the neighbors
Needs paving, or
right, or whatever it is, and
Yeah.
it's a good opportunity for legislators to also get to know their community better,
Yeah.
and in an informal manner. Just a quick conversation. You can come and go, as well as tour the new library, of course,
Right.
and just meet people. Even in the community, just to say, a neighbor down the street, or down the other
Yeah.
end from East Main to West Main.
Yeah.
And
It is, and it's surprising, that there are a lot of people that don't even, they don't know who their magistrate is,
There are
or who
quite a
their school
few.
board representative is, and
PVA has been our big newest one with the taxes come out in November for your, to pay for your houses, your
house
real
and your
property.
yeah.
So a lot of people don't know who our PVA is, or the people who do aren't the people we're really
Yeah.
aiming for. We just want, the person down the street to come in and be able to say, oh, and ask a question to her if she's,
Exactly.
how do you come about with this, or why
Yeah.
was it raised or lowered, or
Yeah,
as
that's-
well as the county clerk. People go in there every day to renew their tags or to get some kind of license, but no one ever really talks to him and asks him questions about what's going on with the county clerk's office. So
Yeah.
same thing I'm sure with the mayor and the county judge.
Yeah.
And just
So it's a good event to
yes,
have.
we do it every year,
Yeah.
and we try to do it before voting day. So if it is a big election, even the people who are running have the opportunity to just meet and kind of
Right.
push their press on it, or let people know
We'll
who they
find out
are.
what's going on.
Right, and see what their stance is on something.
Yeah.
And that's kind of our opportunity to educate the community. Like I said, in an informal manner. You don't have to be embarrassed. You don't have to dress up. You don't have to sit and wait. You can
Yeah.
just eat and walk around.
Exactly. Yeah.
Eat, grab a refreshment and walk around and run into somebody, shake their hand, and
Yeah.
next thing you know, you're shaking, the city attorney or the county attorney's hand. And
Yeah. That's
you don't
exactly
even
right.
know it. Kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, that's exactly
So
right.
that's usually held. Every library usually holds that. Last year, since we had just opened, we weren't able to, but this year we're getting back into the annual, doing it every year.
Yeah, yeah. So good. So that's a good
Yeah.
program.
So we have programs on. Our teen programs are off and on. Just depends on. We have a teen book discussion and what we call tween. Tweens are more middle schoolers and teens are more high schoolers. We do that every month. We have 2 adult book discussions every month. We have a mystery one and then a more of a general fiction book discussion.
Oh, that's right. You've got your, in addition to the tweens, you've got your adult book club.
We have tween readers and teen readers are our
Uh-huh.
book discussions for those.
And they'll be reading a particular book.
They each have a particular book that's that age appropriate. And then we have the Main Street readers have been going for 50 years, which is how long the library's been in Washington County.
That's the adult group.
That's one of them general fiction adult groups. And then
Uh-huh.
we have Murder and Mayhem, which is our new mystery group that's been going for about a year now. Since we
Oh,
opened, we
okay.
started that one. And both
Okay.
of those are very successful. And you can come in and get the book, and We give you a little bookmark, tells you when the date of the program is, and you can come
So-
if you'd like and discuss it or not. But
Yeah.
it's
So
just
they come in, get the book from the library,
check it out.
and you'll let them know when the meetings
Yep.
are.
There's usually, besides on the calendar, there's a little, we usually put a bookmark in that says, what the name of the book is, because people like to know what they read. Some of our more hefty readers write notes on the back of those bookmarks so they can keep them for future if they want to read that author again or somebody similar to it. We can do research for them, and they can just come in, and it's about, they talk sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes an hour. It's sort of just winged, how much people want to talk. If they want to talk a lot about a book, and we'll be there as long as they need us to be.
Well, and of course, too, you always have the newspapers and the magazines.
We do. We have newspapers.
Which, I know lots of retired people like to come in,
They do.
sit down, relax, and read the newspaper or a magazine, and just,
We have about 30,000 books or items in our collection, DVDs, books on CD, as well as music CDs that can be checked out. But last year we checked out about 100,000 of those items. So that was the largest we've ever seen, and it beats a lot of the counties that are larger than us that surround us.
Wow.
So it was nice to see that we could top circulations of large libraries. We're small, but we're mighty. That's what we always say.
Well, that is the truth. That is the truth. Yes, I come in and check out DVDs, and so that's always good.
They're popular.
Yes.
They are. And we're starting.
And you get to keep them for
a week. So if you don't get a chance to watch them till the weekend, you can still keep it over the weekend and watch it again if you want to. Or if you're in my case, my husband will watch it one night, and then when I'm home, I'll have to watch it a different night or something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Or if you have to pause and you only get to watch half of it, you can watch the rest of it the next night. That works out really well.
It does. So we have that, and then we also have online sources. We use Overdrive, which is if you want to book on, like to read, on your phone, your tablet, your iPad, whatever you can do. You just have to have a library card and a PIN number. All the libraries pretty much are involved. It's a consortium, and so you can log in and you can check out a book to read on your an e-read, or you can even do an audio book through your tablet, and they're all free with your library card. As well as we have a music download. You can download 5 songs a week. So if you're a teen, especially, if
you can download 5 songs a week, and you get to keep those.
Yep, you keep them forever.
Forever?
On whatever device you download it on.
And it doesn't cost you anything?
No, just your library card.
Oh my
That's all
goodness.
you have to have.
Well, I got to do that.
And then in the library we have ABC Mouse, which is free for the kids to come in. It's a learning tool that they can use for that. And then you can do your genealogy researches also with your library card at home if you want to do that through the library.
Great.
So we have a lot of online sources for people who are traveling or don't want to actually come in the physical building. They can still visit us, but online.
Well, and I often check out the audio books.
I do too.
Or I don't know what they call it. It used to be called on tape,
Right,
of course
now
it's
on CD.
CD that you can put in your car when you're
do.
traveling. And read a book that way.
And now a lot of the new cars have like Apple Play or Android Play or something like that. So when you hook up your phone, if you use Overdrive and use it as an audio book, you can listen through it. Like your phone automatically connects to your car, so you can listen that way also.
Yeah.
So I've done that recently too.
Well, that is just great.
So it's a good way to visit the library without actually physically having to come into the building. Though we would like you to come into the new building.
Yeah.
We're starting the 3D printing back up. We have someone that's taken over that great task. So we have 2 3D printers, and they're aimed more for either a younger age to learn a little bit more than a high schooler, because they get a lot of that at the Washington County High School. So these are getting kids used to using 3D printing and the CAD and the dimension changing they need to create something. And then also maybe our older crowd, we'll say our young at heart, that they're fascinated that they can create something out of plastic or out of metal and in this little cube thing. But it shows they can do things and put their names on it. So he's going to be working with that a lot to get that started.
That is great.
So that we'll be pulling those out, and those will be demonstrated and then programmed out in the next year, beginning of the next year.
Okay. Well, gosh, there's just so many things, Tara. And now give us your hours of operation. So,
okay, we are open Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., Fridays 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturdays 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then we're closed on Sundays, of course.
Gosh, those are a lot of
We
hours.
do. We increased our hours with the new library. We increased them 5 hours more a week than the old library. And we have parking now. I know a lot of people who came to the old library were like, there's nowhere to park. We have parking now, and plenty of parking for everyone to park, and nice, safe, everything, nice porches to come and look at, and to be under the rain, get out of the rain at, drop people off. We have an outdoor book drop. You can drive by and drop your books in if you can't, if we're not open. So and your
DVDs too.
Your DVDs too.
Okay.
Anything can go in there.
Okay.
And of course, if you can't come in the building and you don't have we also have the bookmobile. The bookmobile runs Monday through Thursday. She does 20 hours every week. She visits every corner of Washington County at some point. Some people are houses. She goes to individuals' houses. Sometimes it's one house and 3 or 4 people, neighbors, come by. She visits the schools every other week. So every school kid in Washington County has a library card. So when they come in and say, I don't have a card, you have one. You may not have your number, but we'll get that looked up for you. So every child Washington County has a library card.
Well, now, if they want to know more about any of these services, Tara, where do they call? You
can call us at 859-336-7655. We have a very long email or web address, so it's easier just to Google Washington County Public Library Springfield, because there's a lot of Washington counties out there. And then, or you can email us at info@wcplky.org. Washington County Public Library, Kentucky.org.
Yeah. Or they can just come to the library,
they can come,
which is located, what's that address?
Our new address is 333 West Main Street. So if you go to the old one, just turn around and come down to the other end of Main Street. One end to the other. And everybody knows where it is, so stop in Mordecai's or City Hall.
It's across from the fire department.
They're across from the fire department in the dairy.
Yeah.
And next to St. Dominic.
Right, next to St. Dominic,
We do.
So, well, Tara, thank you very much for being here today. I'm just so excited.
We are too.
Congratulations on your 1-year anniversary.
Thank you.
Everybody get to the library.
That's right, meet and greet.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.